Welcome to the Burrillville School Committee meeting being held March 11th, 2025 in the Burrillville High School Media Center, 425 East Avenue, Harrisville, Rhode Island. Doing a roll call, everybody is present. And would you please all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, at this time, I'm going to hear a motion to move into executive session.
I'll make a motion to move into executive session.
Jill made the motion, Sylvia second, all in favor?
Aye.
Justin, let us know when we're clear.
Oh, the signs outside say, "Come in."
I'm gonna take a motion to, I'm gonna state for the record that there were no votes taken in executive session. And do I have to,
Request the minutes be sealed.
oh, I'm sorry, what?
To request seal of the minutes.
And I'm gonna request that we seal the minutes from the executive session.
Need a motion for that.
Motion,
I'll make a motion to seal the minutes from executive session.
Jill made the motion,
Second.
Victor second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So now, for the best part of being on the school committee. Why isn't my, sorry. There we go. Okay. Agenda item number 4, recognition of Ella McCarthy, freshman state champion shot put. I'm gonna turn it over to. Okay, you're gonna read?
Yeah, so
Turn it over to Dr. Salito.
thank you, everyone. It's good to see Ella and her fan club here tonight. So first off, I want to apologize. We misspelled Ella. We misspelled your name on the agenda, but it is spelled correctly on the citation. And I'm going to read the citation now, and then Chairwoman Lacey will present it on behalf of the committee. So official citation, be it hereby known to all that the Burrillville School Department offers its sincerest congratulations and best wishes to Ella McCarthy in recognition of winning the freshman state championship title for shot put. Burrillville School Department salutes you on this tremendous accomplishment. Go Broncos, given this 11th day of March 2025. Congratulations.
I don't think this will be the only citation we'll be giving Ella as her 4 years at Burrillville High School, but, we can say all of that. And thank you for, representing our school so well. Would anybody like to come up and take some photos? I know you do.
Grandma, grandpa. I told you, look at all. She's got all the grandparents, aunts and uncles.
For those that don't know, this is her coach, Erin LaFauci.
Ella, where's the rest of your family? I'm not surprised by that at all.
There's a little bit of support right there.
Kate, they can't even see you. Kate, move forward.
Take a walk on the street every Wednesday.
Terry said to bring everyone.
I did. I said, bring them. Bring the tribe.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna take a couple. And then someone, and Mrs. St. Pierre's gonna take a couple. Yeah, I got it. Everyone's sitting.
I know. She's like, I'll send it to you.
Everyone up there. 1, 2, please. Okay, one more. All set.
Tell them they can leave if they want.
Yeah, they know.
No, right?
Okay, good.
Super awesome.
your whole family.
Good work. Good work, girl.
It's a big group.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think we'll all agree, that's always the best part, right?
Right, absolutely.
Recognizing our athletes and our students and all their accomplishments. Okay, so we're gonna move on to agenda item number 5, approval of minutes.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 11th, 2025 regular meeting.
Second?
Motion made by Donnison, second by Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Warrants and invoices.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal year 24-25 warrant number 8 for the month of February dated March 11th. Grand total expenditures, $2,810,422.02.
Second?
Motion made by Donnison, second by Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we have one bid tonight.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the bid for Atlantic Elevator South Company Incorporated, total bid price of $8,070.
Second?
Motion made by Donnison, second by Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, agenda item number 6, presentation by the public to the school committee. Do we have anyone?
We have no presentation
No
scheduled tonight.
presentations? Okay. Agenda item number 7, public comment. If anybody would like to comment, you can go up to the microphone. If not, we'll keep moving on. Okay, moving on. Agenda item number 8, personnel, leave of absence, retirements, resignations, and appointments.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the resignation of Casey Sparadio, art teacher, Steer Farm Elementary, and William L. Callahan, effective June 17th, 2025. Also Kurt Tupper, computer network technician, effective February 28th, 2025. Jennifer Amonte, RNTA, ELC, effective June 17th, 2025. Desta Heath, behavior specialist, Burrillville High School, effective February 28th, 2025. And also Dylan Brown, a music teacher, A.T. Levy, William L. Callahan, effective March 7th, 2025.
Second?
Motion made by Donnison, second by Sylvia. All in favor?
Aye. And Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to accept the appointments, subsequent appointments as presented.
Second?
Motion made by Donnison, second by Jill. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving right along. Agenda item number 8, I'm sorry, number 9, old business. I gotta get my glasses fixed here. Fiscal year 25 Borough School District budget update and transfer approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfers as requested and receive and file the budget update.
Second?
Motion made by Donnison, second by
Jill.
Jill. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Fiscal year 25 rink budget update.
Motion to receive and file?
Second?
Motion made by Donnison, second by Jill. All in favor?
Aye.
And policy number 7311, Youth Nutrition Student Account Policy, second reading.
Make a motion.
motion to open?
Second?
Motion made by Sylvia to open, second by Donnison.
I'd like to make some comments.
Yeah.
I looked at it again this time, and the first $25, they give them 10 days to pay. The second thing is $50, they give them 10 days to pay. They don't pay us the next school year, they give them $30 days to pay. And I'm saying, that's an awful lot of time for like $50 to owe, or even $25 to owe. And I'm wondering why they put that in. Is it just giving them a lot of leeway, or?
I can answer that. Yeah, I think it is giving them a lot of leeway. So this is typically something that we see at all levels really of schooling, and most of the time it's addressed by the parent once the parent is contacted by administration. We used, My School Bucks, and they can go into the account and bring the account balance up to a neutral balance if it's a negative balance. But there are some times where communication's an issue, or for whatever reason it extends, and what we really want to ensure with this policy is that kids aren't being penalized when they go to lunch. So it's really walking a balance of not embarrassing kids when they go to lunch, making sure they still have the ability to get lunch, and that's really why those deadlines are in there. So the last thing we want to do is have a kid show up to lunch and, go through a line and have a lunch, and then, someone from food services says, no, you're overdue, you can't have that lunch, and throws it away. Those kind of things, those should never happen, and hopefully it doesn't happen, and it's not going to happen, and I think that's why those deadlines are in there. But it really is only extreme cases that get that far, and when that happens, we deal with the parent really more on a one-to-one basis to address the issue.
So 30 days, I'm wondering if they still don't pay, and it says that they'll be cut off. So will they still get, like, something to eat?
Usually that's at the end of the school year.
May. And then it says account may be placed into collections. Couldn't you change that to will?
Again, that's extreme cases. Yeah, and if we use will, then that means we have to put it into collections. If we use may, then there is some discretion allowed there. So if it's extenuating circumstances that parents might have, whether it's financially or those kind of things, it gives us a little bit of flexibility and administrative discretion in those cases.
And I feel like at that point, there's so, I don't know, like, how you would even go about this, but you hear about, like, Stanley Tree Service or other companies that, like, give money to pay off lunch balances. Like, I don't think any kid should ever be told by somebody in the lunchroom that they can't have something. So
Yeah,
that was the case.
Yep.
We don't do that.
We should, we don't do that, and
Okay.
we shouldn't be doing that. Agreed.
Yeah, so I don't care if it's like 180 days, like if the family is having a hardship.
Yeah, the policy really is in there for the extreme cases where it's not really based on a hardship, it's just an oversight, or
Okay.
someone is difficult to
If
get in
there's,
touch
like, a
with, or
miscommunication, yeah.
miscommunication, those kind of things. If it's really a financial hardship, we work with the families to
Yeah,
make sure
good.
that they're getting what they need. And, filling out the free and reduced lunch forms is part of that too.
Right.
There are some families who just haven't filled them out. Once they fill
Right.
them out, it's not a problem anymore.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody with any further discussion or questions?
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
Motion made by Donnison, second by Short. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 10, Dr. Salito's superintendent report.
Hey, thank you, Chair Lacy. Just a couple of items on my report tonight. At the March 12th Town Council meeting, that's tomorrow night, Robin and I will be presenting our agreement with Council 94, which is our paraprofessional and custodial union, and requesting ratification by the Town Council. As you know, we reached agreement earlier this year. School committee has voted to ratify that. The Council 94 body has also voted to ratify that. The final step is to get ratification from the Town Council. This was originally on the February Town Council agenda meeting, but that was, I guess, a very busy meeting, so we pushed it back to the March 12th meeting. So tomorrow night, Robin and I will be presenting in executive session the terms of that agreement, and hopefully that'll be ratified by the council tomorrow night. I'll keep you posted as that unfolds. A couple of other items. Colonel Lynch and I have begun interviews for the coordinator position for the Burrillville Prevention Action Coalition, BPAC. As you know, Monica Blanchett stepped away and took a role in another company, for a private company, and that position has been vacant for about a week or two now. So we're hoping to get that person hired and on board really in the next few weeks. There's a lot to do. There's some grant deadlines that need to be met, and there's a lot to do with our students and our BPAC position, both at the town and the school.
Are there a lot of applicants?
Yeah, there are quite a few. Yeah, there are quite a few. We did interviews last week. We have second interviews coming up this week. So hopefully by the end of this week or early next week, we'll have a recommendation, someone that we can hire. As you know, that falls under the jurisdiction of the police department. So the final say really is with Colonel Lynch, but we work really closely on the school side with them as well. We also met with regional representatives from BHDDH, who funds much of the position, and lots of grants that are connected to BPAC. We just want to ensure that no grant funds are left on the table and not spent by the proper deadline. So to that end, we've got some plans in the works. We're still waiting to hear back from them, so I don't want to discuss them in case they don't come to fruition, but we've got some plans in the work on how to spend some of that money in prevention areas for the high school. So more to come on that once we get the green light from DDH, but right now, we're hopefully gonna have a BPAC coordinator in the next week or so.
And I don't know if anybody said this already, but many thanks to Monica. She really did so much,
Yeah.
so
It's a big loss.
there's gonna be big shoes to fill there.
Here.
Yeah.
My final item, later this evening, we have a letter from DECA that requests funds to offset the cost of their national conference. Typically, this comes before the school committee every year. In past practice, the committee has awarded $500 to help offset the cost, and then much of the remaining cost is done by fundraising. We do have a budget line item that is put aside for trips like Skills USA and our DECA trips, but right now that line item is zeroed out. So hopefully the $500, if you approve that tonight, will help, and we'll look for some additional funds if we can find it, but typically fundraising is the way to go for DECA. And we had several students in that correspondence that won state awards at the DECA conference. I know the committee members have a copy of that, and we'll be recognizing those students at our April school committee meeting. So congratulations to the DECA students. And again, that's listed, I believe, under correspondence later tonight.
Yep.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Salito. Moving on to agenda item number 11, the administrator's report, which will be deferred until the April meeting. Agenda item number 12, report from school committee student representative.
Today I have no reports.
Nothing to report?
Nothing to
Okay.
report.
Everything go to the high school then, I'm assuming. Good. Good to hear. Sometimes no news is good news. Okay, agenda item number 13, reports of school committee subcommittees. Do we have anything to report back?
I have the Callahan School Improvement Team meeting last week. Focus was getting the kids and getting everybody prepped for the rockcast coming up. So it seems like they try to keep the kiddos not too stressed out about the tests, so they have a couple different things they're working on. Other than that, all is well. It's good to see the team over there, so.
Anybody else? All right. BPAC, just so you know, too, BPAC obviously was canceled this month because we didn't have a coordinator, so,
We actually use that time slot to do interviews.
oh, okay. So, hopefully next month we'll have something to report and maybe be able to introduce you to our new BPAC coordinator. Okay. Moving on. Correspondence and communication. School committee resolution on behalf of Exeter West Greenwich School Committee.
Madam Chair, I can speak to this if you'd like. So in your packet, you have a copy of a school committee resolution that was passed by Exeter West Greenwich, I believe, last month, end of February. And this was shared, obviously, with all their local officials and then sent to school committees and town councils across the state. In short, what this resolution does, it requests that the shared cost model and state funding priority for homeless students is, recommends and requests that it is taken by the General Assembly, taken action upon. What that would do is it would, in short, it would kind of shift the money from private school tuition students for transportation over to homeless student transportation. That would be tied into full funding of McKinney-Vento, and, which is the homeless federal law, to ensure compliance with all federal mandates. And then it would be a revaluation of all transportation policies. So a lot of this work is ongoing right now with the Transportation Commission that is meeting at the General Assembly. I know both Terry and I attended that meeting. Terry actually spoke on behalf of the district about the burden of cost of the increased number of unhoused students that we have here in Burrillville and specifically at Zambarano, the families that were placed there by the state, and the cost that has led to the district. So you may want to consider a mirror resolution to this, but I think the General Assembly already has the word. I've written several letters, we've spoken and testified at the State House, so they certainly know our stance on this, but if you'd like to do a mirror resolution to this, we can do that as well. Obviously, we would have to change the expenses from Exeter West Greenwich to Burrillville, but the rest of the letter would remain relatively the same. If the private school rather, transportation funds are used to go directly to the cost of transporting homeless students, that would bring Burrillville about $151,000 in transportation funds. So it certainly would be helpful if it goes through.
And there's been other, I'm losing my train of thought here. There's been other, resolutions like this written, right? Didn't we have
Yes.
one from Portsmouth?
Yeah, I think
Was
we
it
did one from Portsmouth and
Yeah.
and possibly Bristol Warren.
Right, so,
But that's under new business. If we want to discuss that and vote on that, it's under new business as an action item, potential action item. Agreed.
we haven't heard anything from them
No,
yet,
they're still,
nothing.
they're still meeting, I believe.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or any comments? Okay.
The other correspondence is a letter from DECA that I referenced in my superintendent's report. It's also under new business for discussion/vote on a request for a donation to help offset their cost.
Okay. Moving on, does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, moving on, agenda item number 15, new business. Homeschool applications.
Make a motion to receive and file the homeschool application,
They have to be approved.
approve.
Somebody second, Sean?
Sean?
Motion made by Jill, second by Sean, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Discussion, vote on potential 2-year extension of transportation contract.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2-year extension for the deck. This is for DACO.
Yes, correct.
I'll second.
Motion made by Sylvia, second by Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, discussion and vote on Burrillville High School field and ice rink maintenance and access use agreement. Mike, is there anything you want to add to
Once we
this?
go to discussion, I can. If you want to have a vote in a second and go to discussion, I can explain it.
Okay.
You can open, yeah.
Second.
Motion made by Sylvia to open, second by Donison.
Okay, I can give you some background information on this. So this maintenance and access use agreement is basically the parameters of what the athletic complex will be. That's the upper field here at the high school and the rink together as the athletic complex for the town, which would fall under the jurisdiction of the town rather than the schools. Right now, as you know, previously, the school committee gave authority over the field and the rink to the town, beginning in July 1. But there's no real borders of what that means. So what this does is it kind of outlines what exactly would fall under town jurisdiction and what would remain under the school's control. So the rink, if you look at the diagram there, the rink in the upper field, what still is, I guess, Gled Hill Field, it would be bundled with the rink, and that whole upper field would be part of the athletic complex. Alumni field would remain with the school. The lower practice field would remain the school's responsibility, as would anything else on school grounds, tennis courts, parking lots, those kind of things. But the athletic complex itself would be defined as the upper field and the rink. The reason this is here tonight is that we really can't move forward on anything as far as an agreement over supervision and, a rink, athletic complex director, coordinator, any of those conversations. We can't really move forward to that step until we have the boundaries of this approved and we're all on the same page at both the school committee and the town council.
I have some comments or questions?
Yep.
We call it the Burrillville School Athletic Field, and it was originally the Gled Hill Field. And Mr. Gledhill. I don't know if anyone here knows who Mr. Gledhill.
I had him, yep.
As old as me. He was the person who brought soccer to the schools, to Burrillville High School. So, everybody thought pretty highly of him. And are we going to continue to use the Gledhill Field as a name? Or do you plan on using Burrillville School Athletic Field?
That's not decided now, right?
No, it's nothing, I mean, I would assume it would still be Gledhill Field. I don't know why they would change it. But this agreement is more about the complex itself. So the athletic complex, you'd still have Levy Rink, you could still have Gledhill Field, but together, those two entities would be the athletic complex.
Thank you. And then the term other amenities, when they talked about rink and the field, and then they say other amenities, we're not really delineating them.
That would be things like the field house, the stands, the viewing plaza, anything that's up on the upper field. The tower is technically still up on the upper field, so that was included there, but obviously it's only for school use. So that's also part of the agreement, that tower would just be for school use.
Can we put that in that agreement?
I think it is.
It
yeah.
holds a tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the picture, it's in there, I think.
Pictures in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a separate conversation about that, so it should be in there. Yeah, it's number 6 on the second page.
Okay, so it is in there. Okay. And the use of the parking lot, it says, the grantee gets unrestricted access during athletic field use. Now, I'm concerned about the fact that what if there's something going on in the school and there's something going on in the field and there is no place to park? What do we do?
So the access to that field would only be granted under certain circumstances, which, we don't have those rules yet, so it's tough to say. But really, we'd only be granting access if there's no conflict with any school event, or access would not be granted. So very clear when we move to the next part of this, that those rules are in place, and that any use of that field, that obviously the high school and any school team gets first priority. I don't think that's ever been questioned.
So priority for the field?
Yep.
And the.
Yes, in the parking lot, right. So if we have an event that day, say we have a band concert, and they're expecting a big crowd or open house, then obviously we still get to use the parking lot.
So we still have to work on that.
Yeah, there'll be like a master list of, which we use for all our buildings now, of whenever something's being used, so we know who's using it. I would assume that the athletic complex would do the same, so that they would try to avoid any potential conflicts.
Okay, and another concern I have is, if a student is injured during school or during a game, who's responsible, the grantor or the grantee?
Well, if it's in school, then it would be a school-related event, so they would be covered by the trust. If it's used by an outside organization, then they have to have an insurance company,
Okay.
yeah, or waive liability, yes.
I think that's with every field that the town owns. If you use the field, you have to have your own
You have
insurance
to,
policy.
you have to give a
Yeah.
copy of that
Yeah.
when you sign up.
I think that's it. Enough, huh?
It's good, good questions.
That's all right, Sylvia.
I had a question, I know one of the original proposals was to eliminate the tennis courts and replace those with parking. I think it was one of the earlier designs. Is that still in the works
I
to
don't think so.
accommodate additional parking?
No, I don't think so, because we built more parking, put more parking in the back of the rink.
Yeah.
That was before the parking lot was done in the back of the
Oh,
rink.
yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that was pretty much my only question. I just want to keep in the back of our minds how well-run the rink has been and how it's been financially stable. And I still have that concern about marrying this with this new entity and just being aware, that has been financially stable for a long time. I don't want that to be part of the supplement, if you will, for money losses that we might see at the field. And I know this is an ongoing conversation that's gonna take some time to hash out, but I throw it out there just because, hats off to Chris and the good work he's done over there, but, it's a nice facility that's really, it would be great to have it all together and work well, but I just throw that out as a concern because, you don't wanna get it lost in the weeds, I guess, but in any case.
Well, I think there'll be a lot more discussion about this once we really get going with
Yeah,
it.
no, and
so-
I know that.
And,
I'm
and we'll,
just- yeah,
we'll work all that out.
That's right. You have work to do.
Yes, we have work to do on that.
And while we're just talking, can we add to pending issues? Well, no, skip that. I'll bring it up after. Go ahead.
Okay.
Unrelated.
Does anybody have any more discussion or about the field? Okay. Moving on. Oh.
Yep.
Motion to approve?
I'll make a
that
motion. Motion to approve.
Motion made by Dave, second by Sean, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, discussion vote, mirror resolution to Exeter West Greenwich School Committee resolution. Any discussion? Anybody want to open for discussion?
I think it's a great idea. I mentioned it earlier, but it can't hurt to mirror it and have us all sign it. Even though, Terry, thank you very much for going.
Yeah.
But I think
Good
it's a
work.
thing to do.
I agree with Sean. I think that this is something that really we really need to make noise about, because and as Dr. Salido had mentioned, we were down at the State House testifying, and we're not the only ones having this issue. So I think the more we get people on board, the more school districts we can get on board and really make some noise about this, this is what's gonna help with this problem, because it's a growing problem, and it's a growing concern, and it's hitting us all very hard, so I agree.
So if you approve this, I will Burrillvilleize this resolution, if you will. Put some points in there that are more applicable to us, and then I'll send it to the committee for your information, and then we'll get it over to our elected officials, town councils across the state, school committees across the state in general, so.
I'd make a motion to approve
Second.
the resolution.
Okay, motion to approve made by Dave, second by Jill, all in favor?
Aye.
Great. Okay, discussion vote, request from DECA. Discussion vote on the request from DECA?
If there's no discussion, I make a motion to approve, I think.
Do we have
Good discussion?
motion to open?
Make a motion to open?
Go ahead, Sylvia.
Yep, second.
Motion made by Sylvia, second by Donnison.
I do have concern. I see DECA as being just as important as our athletics or as our music things or anything like that. And
Absolutely.
we're- You know, I feel that maybe we don't have the money, but $500 is a token. And maybe we should pay for the transportation or give them $1,000 or $2,000 so that they can, use it to their needs. I mean, they're going to Washington DC for this, and we have, how many people? 13 of them is it 13? That are first, second, and third?
Thought it was 12, but it could be 13.
Wait a minute, hang on.
8, 9, 11. Yeah, 13, he's right.
13 in Rhode Island. They made first, second, and third place in Rhode Island, 13 of them, which is pretty amazing, because there were 500 and something kids there. So, my opinion would be to give them more than $500.
What have we given in the past before?
$500.
Yeah, we've
What have
always
we
given
passed?
500.
I think 1,000 would say that we care, we know you're there, you're doing a great job, keep going.
But the line item has 0 in it, so.
Correct.
Is that?
But the line item has 0 in it, because we've,
Yeah.
Right, I think 500 says the same thing. It's a nice gesture.
But my concern is that we spend more on our athletics than we do on something like this. So we need to make it so that this is just as important for staying in school as athletics are. And we don't spend much money on DECA or any of these other things. My other concern is, we had students who've made Rhode Island State, All-State Music Festival, and they were picked. We have students from this school system that have been chosen for that, and they're presenting in the month of March. But we're not recognizing them either. I think we should have the DECA kids coming here maybe next month and be recognized, and also the people students who made all-state music.
We already
We already
discussed
are
that.
doing that in April.
We already discussed that.
The DECA kids are coming next month.
All right.
We're gonna recognize them. The thing is, I think it is that, we have so much money, and these things are unexpected things, so,
But DECA? I'm not talking about all-state music.
no, I'm talking about the cost.
Yeah.
It's an unexpected cost, and we only have so much money, you know? And usually they fundraise for that,
I know.
Right.
so,
And they will.
But I think to me, it shows that we're looking at that as not as important as athletics. That kind of program, not just that program in particular, but that kind of program where kids are striving and working and doing all of this extra stuff and getting praised for it, and we're giving them a token.
Sylvia, I understand your point. It's well taken. Just keep in mind, this is above and beyond the normal, what would normally be a DECA activity. So this is a travel trip to DC. We don't have any athletic teams that are going to DC or have any kind of special trips like that. It's all part of their normal athletics.
Right, any of the,
But, yeah,
for athletics, they fundraise
they would
for their
fundraise
team.
if it was for that. So it's typical for what we do for all of our programs. We did put a line item in the budget a few years ago, which has been slashed really because of the budgetary issues we've had. But we put a line item in there for, to kind of offset the cost for some of these trips, because we were really getting lots of kids for Skills USA and DECA. Those are the two things that we were getting a lot of pushback on, because, kids were qualifying for these and then had to pay a significant amount to go on the trip. But that line item right now it's zeroed out. Quite honestly, I don't know where we're gonna pull the $500 from, somewhere in the budget.
I'll
Probably have to
contribute
come
my
from.
portion from my pocket.
Thank you.
and I just wanna say too, you had mentioned something, was it the band or something you had mentioned? The thing is, if I don't know about these things, and if any school committee member wants to bring it to our attention and put it on the agenda to recognize our students for anything, please do so, because I think that's just as important, recognizing these kids, and yes, we would like to be able to give them more money, but just to recognize what they've done and how hard they worked, and I would love to see more of that done in our school and at our school committee meetings. So if anybody knows of any students that, I mean, obviously, we can't bring in every single athlete, but like Ella, she won a state championship, so,
Oh, that's what these,
yeah, exactly, so that's why we're recognizing them next month. So, but again, just to reiterate, any school committee member or any teacher or any coach out there that wants to have a student recognized for outstanding achievement, please, bring it to our attention. That's the best part of this job, is recognizing our kids, I feel anyway, so, and I think you will do too, so.
Well said.
Any more discussion, or? Okay,
So I'll make a motion to approve the $500
motion made by
Second.
Jill, second by Donnison, all in favor?
by Victor. Second by Victor.
Oh, Victor, I'm sorry, you guys sound alike. We're gonna have to put a female in between you two, because you sound too much like. Second by Victor, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving on, agenda item number 16, committee comments on agenda items. Does anybody want to add anything?
I guess I'll say what I was gonna say before.
Go right ahead. Here's your chance, Donnison.
It's actually not even on the agenda, so it's not really a comment on agenda items, but we had gone out for pricing, and we were working on establishing a committee for looking at space needs. Is that something we could put under pending issues,
Sure.
one, and two, is there any feedback or update? It's not really, if we had added like the superintendent's report or something like that.
Sure, yeah, I can give you an update on that, and we will add it to pending issues for future agendas. Right now, we put the bid out for request for proposals. RFPs are out, several companies that run the master price agreement and a few other every company that we sent it to have on the master price agreement. We have not heard back yet. I'm not sure when that due date is for those bids. Do you have a- yeah. Sometime in the next week or so.
The one day that Bill's not here.
Yeah, Bill threw his back out, so
Oh.
he sent his
no.
I
regards.
know how that feels.
So he's,
Oh,
yeah, he's been at home convalescing for a couple of days.
Oh, he must be going crazy.
I shouldn't laugh. I've got back issues, so. Yeah, I can, we'll add that to the pending issues.
Super, thank you.
Bill's back.
No, not Bill's back.
Oh,
Just to reiterate what I just said, I'd also like to add too, any teachers that you think have gone above and beyond, that you think should deserve some type of recognition for something they've achieved. Again, bring it to the school committee and we'll add it to the agenda. Because we have the best staff in Rhode Island. So there, I said it.
yes, you do.
Staff, support staff, administration,
And I wanna.
Bus drivers.
bus drivers in the state of Rhode Island, and I can attest to that.
Sylvia has something to add, Terry.
Oh, yeah, I just want to say, I did see on my granddaughter's paperwork that came home that, if you plan, if you wish to recommend a student, say, a teacher for Teacher of the Year,
Yep.
then the deadline is the 14th of March.
Yep.
And you can just bring it to the principal.
Coming up soon, yes.
What's that?
It's coming up soon, the deadline, March 14th.
And are they still doing the food collection?
March 14th for
Franklin,
the deadline
Eric
for Teacher
Franklin.
of the Year.
I think so.
Is that done?
I think that's still going on, I think.
It's still going on?
I think so.
The food collection, it is still going on? Okay, bring it to the high school or whatever school? Whatever school they attend. Canned goods and things like that,
Operation Stand Down.
yeah. So. All right. Moving on, pending issues. Artificial field update, do we have anything, Mike?
So I feel like a
Ms.
broken
Leo?
record every month, but no update. We're still waiting to hear back from the judge on a legal decision, but nothing yet.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Wow. Somebody's in a hurry to get out of here.
Didn't even give Terry the
Give me all,
chance.
give me all in favor.
All in favor, Terry?
Motion to adjourn made by David, second by
Jill?
Jill. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Motion made.